everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and I have a haul from Sterling Inc. This ended up being 3 orders all together. So on launch number 2, it was N1 and N2 size planners. These are the standard TN size and the weeks size planners. N1 is the standard TN traveler's notebook size, and then the N2 is the weeks size. And I ended up with quite a few of each type. Like this early in the game, I'm not sure which planners I'm going to be using for which things. I've talked in multiple videos now about doing away with any B6 planners in my lineup, also A6 planners in my lineup, and sticking strictly to TN, weeks, and A5 size. So I have lots of these like little accessory type planners. Like this is my YouTube content planner. I plan on adding also a social media planner. And then this is just like a daily journal where I just kind of write down feelings, ideas, thoughts, all that kind of stuff on a daily basis. This one is strictly just pen and paper, so it hasn't fluffed up. This one has a few stickers in it, so it's got a little bit of chunk to it, but not a whole lot. But I have a lot of these like single topic compartmentalized style planners, and I'm going to be condensing them or expanding all of them in the TN and week size planners from various other size planners. So I've got lots of options. So I placed 2 separate orders. I wanted the fairy floss color in white edge and the gold edge. So I ended up placing an order for those planners and then placing an additional order for the other planners that I wanted in my lineup potentially. And then I also ended up placing 1/3 final order from this launch, and I will show you guys that when we get to it. So everything came packaged up really nicely. It looks like Hot Mess Express right now because I took everything out in the Carpool line. I had stopped at the mailbox to get this first. Like a lot of neighborhoods in Texas have cluster mailboxes, so I have to like go to the cluster mailbox and get everything. But I ended up doing that and then going right to the Carpool line and playing around with these and looking at everything in the Carpool line, because I always have a few minutes to sit there. So that is what I did, and that's why they look all wonky, like things are not sticking out properly in these boxes. Usually that's the information of the planner sticking out right there, and they're all sorts of wonky. So we're going to dive into these. It's really fun because all of the planners, I didn't even realize this in my first launch video. It was for the B5 planner. I did not even realize they came with these little, oh my gosh, I'm blanking at the name. It's been a really long day. It felt like a Monday all day. I can't remember what these are called. I'm totally blanking, but they're the things you use like behind your writing to keep your page from getting all crinkled up and dented, and it protects the page behind it. Could not tell you what it is. I will insert it. I'm having a major brain fart right now, but all the planners come with that, except one of mine did not happen to come with one, but they're cute. They have the year information, and then they also have a design on it. So it's like the sticker club design style. Very beautiful. Her art is gorgeous, and some of them are really floral. Some of them are more botanical. Some of them are more like kitchen-y type inspired. This one has a lot of foliage, and they're just really pretty. So when I got one with my B5 planner, I was like, oh look, and it comes with a calendar, and I totally didn't flip it over in that video, but I'll flip all these over for you guys. And I think each planner may come with a different design, or there's just a handful of different designs available. So this planner is the full year. I only got horizontals, and I really like the horizontal. This is a week's full year, so this is the N2H. So N2 for weeks, H for horizontal, and the horizontal layout I've shown before. I'll flip to a further in page so you can see. It's horizontal on the one page, has all the days of the week starting with a Monday, and then on this page it's just grid. So I love this layout specifically for something like YouTube planning. I can do like my weekly running to-do list for things I need to film, edit, upload, all that kind of stuff, video notes, video ideas. All the video ideas generally go in the back, but all my to-do listing stuff for the week ends up here, and it's not necessarily broken down day by day. Like Monday, I'm gonna do XYZ. So I don't really need this section for to-do listing. I use this as like weekly running to-do list style page. And then all of the videos that go up on my channel are scheduled into this page. So I see what's going up, and then I have a little code. I'll show you my code. I just have a 3 to 4 dot system, edited, uploaded, live, and then also with the 4th dot if I post it to Instagram, which I am really bad about doing, especially after the summer. I really just can't get back into doing it, but now I'm more back into it. Like that week I had 3 videos and a bonus video, but again, like haven't posted everything to actual Instagram or anything. So I have found this one super helpful for the one single subject type planning, and that's how I've used my weeks. I've only had one of these Sterling Ink Weeks style planners, but I plan on moving more things into that style. So I got one that has a page per day, and this one is the mulberry color with the gold edges. Very pretty. I like how chunky monkey it is compared to the compact, which only has like 120 notes pages in the back versus one for every day of the year. Now, I will notice, and I'll show you guys little clips too, I'm not a huge fan of these new covers. Like, I love the color, don't get me wrong, it is still the PU leather, it's beautiful. The issue I have with it is so smooth, you totally see the spine completely, like all the little ridges of the spine. And now I felt like I didn't really get a feel for that with the more textured, like this is a pebbly PU leather texture, fake leather. This one's still fake leather, but it's completely smooth, and it's gonna show all of those lines and creases and things a whole lot better, like any kind of scuffs. I'll show you, I ended up scratching. There was like a speck of something on one of them, and I scratched it and totally messed up one of the spots. So I'll show you. This is like just me flipping through, using my fake nail to like barely scratch. Really obvious where I made the dent, but you can still see some of those little binding lines, but it's hidden so much better with this kind of textured style cover, whereas this smooth one, it's gonna show you every imperfection. Like, this one disguises it really well, first of all, because it's kind of like that mottled variation in the color. This one's completely smooth, completely one-dimensional. It does not hide anything, and in fact, like, all the spine creases are seen. You can see, based on like how the light shines, you can see every one of those, and some of them it's more obvious than others. Even from the front you get that like different dimension, because this one, it's not as thick, it's smooth, it just doesn't have that extra thickness to it like this one does. So I'm not a huge fan, like I said. I love the color, gorgeous. It's gonna get scuffed up, it's gonna get messy. Like, already I can see a few little white marks on it, or like the gold edging kind of like rubbing on it. I just can tell already it's not great. Like, this is a brand new planner. I literally took it out of the package, sat in the car with it for like max 10 minutes having it out of a package, and already like it's just not looking like it's gonna hold up the best over time. Like, brand new out of package, still already not vibing with it. So super disappointed in the cover material itself. And she did say there was a lot of issues with the pink cover, which these ones, we're going to talk about the pink cover. These are both fairy floss, one white edge, one gold edge. Same kind of deal, but way more obvious that the spine is there. I'll show you the close-ups I took in the car as I'm like looking at it. I'm like, hey, this doesn't look the greatest. Like, it does not look smooth down the line. Like, it looks lumpy bumpy. Because again, we're dealing with like a much thinner style cover, which I'm not a huge fan of. And there's like already a little, I don't know if it's a glue mark or what, but I can see that little bit of sheen right there. And again, like fresh out of the package, opening this for the first time, didn't have anything sticky or whatever with me. Okay, literally in the carpool lane, I went to the mailbox first because I knew this package was supposed to be delivered today, and sure enough it is. So I'm gonna unbox everything in the car, in the carpool lane, because I've got like 10 minutes until the kids need to be picked up. So I'm just kind of sitting here in line, and I'm gonna open. These are all my in1 and in2 size things. I did end up getting a notebook also. This is just a notebook. Super excited to see the fairy floss and the mulberry and the tweed. They all should be in here. And I have a black one that I'm gonna do a DIY project with. And then I'm gonna, like, you know, sit down, do the normal video. I'm adding this little clip to it. And I'm also not talking too loud in case anybody hears me in the carpool lane. I'm super excited to play around with these. And then, like, in the carpool line, I usually have my daily duo with me, and I have one Sterling ink with me actually right now. That's my little YouTube one. And so I'm gonna open all these up and play around a few minutes. Okay, car vlog. Yeah, the cover, nice and smooth, gorgeous, you know, pinky purpley deep color. I just love it. This is the mulberry. Mine came with a little card, and then also the ink is way lighter. Let's see if I can find one that has not as much writing on it. Here's one that's from summertime. There's like very little writing on it compared to the new one. Just a smidge darker, and I do appreciate that. It looks real nice. Just the tiniest hint darker. And again, like the spine just looks really, really rough, guys. Like it looks all wrinkly here. The lines are super obvious and not smooth at all. Like I see the raised up bit, and I showed this, you know, in the closer up videos, but I can tell that that's not a straight line. There's those little lumpy lumps here and there that are super obvious. So yeah, just not a great material. So I would much rather have something like this that's pebbled, thicker material than something like this that's already like showing stuff, you know? Like I see even on the edge where this is cut, where they did the corner rounding, there's a little like divot in the cover. Like that's not great. Like they're not gonna hold up the greatest over time. So not super excited about these, whereas like this one, I've had it uncovered all year. Like legit uncovered all year. You can see there's some wear and tear like on my sticker. You can see like, I don't know, maybe the edges are a tiny bit looking worn, but for the most part, like this cover looks pretty dang amazing for having used it. It's middle of September now, so it's got some wear and tear at the spine, but just slight. It's not been covered up at all, and it still looks pretty dang good for being completely exposed, uncovered for like 3/4 of the year at this point, right? And then we're talking a brand new planner that already, you know, has imperfections for sure. So not super excited about that. So let's look at the, whatever these are called. There's the one that looks like a little store building there, a brownstone almost. Okay, and then let's look at the other one. And this is the one I think I scratched. So again, like barely opened. What is that? Right? So I had one of those on the back and scratched it, and you can see I'm like barely using my nail to get something off that already has scratches. And like, you know, it's not that big a deal. It's gonna get worn. That's part of the beauty of it, but like to have it be that sensitive that like my fake nail can already just barely super scratch it, not a huge fan. I would love it to have been textured a little bit. I'm like, it's going to attract everything. She already said there had so much trouble with this material. Well, I get it. Like there's already a little mark there. I had no pens with me, nothing. Just literally opened the packages in the car. There's already a mark there. Like, I'm sorry, it's a very expensive planner for it to do that. And she said, you know, this cover is going to be the temperamental cover. Well, she was not lying, and I really hope she reconsiders these smooth covers, because even the forest cover was like feeling thicker than this. Like this feels super thin and floppy, and I liked the pink covers before this way better. This is my least favorite of the pink covers so far. I'm not even talking color, I'm talking material and performance already, like right out fresh from the gate. I literally just opened the planner, not great. So I'm not super excited about those. I will probably end up wrapping those, unfortunately. And like the same deal with the spine. Like that looks lumpy bumpy. That one looks lumpy bumpy. Like you can see the lumps on the side and it just doesn't look great. The cover material is just way too finicky and thin and just does not look the greatest. So not super excited about those, unfortunately. That one, however, did come with a really pretty paper. The floral design is so pretty. Little like bouquet out of focus pieces too. So pretty. I did get a notebook, so let's talk about the other two. Okay, we'll talk about this one last. We'll talk about these two. So I ended up with a Mulberry larger one and then a compact. So this is the N1 Mulberry. Same material, same spine issues. Like that is like gold edging stuff stuck to the spine somehow. Like can't rub it off all the way. It's like where something rubbed on the spine at some point and now the spine looks janky. See it? Hope you can see it. It's like it's there. It's on there. It's just like gold dust permanence, like it was scooted across a surface that was covered in gold dust. That's what it looks like. Looks like a book. Like when my kids take books and they like slide them across our tile floor, which is slightly textured, it will scuff up. This is exactly what this spine looks like. It looks like it was roughed up along some sort of surface. So yeah, this is my like Debbie Downer review. Like I'm gonna love the planners. I'm gonna use the planners, but the cover materials, guys, woo, it's a doozy. I just don't love it. Like fresh out the gate. I've never had any sterling inks ever, even imperfect sterling inks look this rough, right? So we're talking, you know, a $50 planner. I'm pretty sure this one was a $50 planner. To have it look like that and have the cover be that flimsy that's gonna just get ruined. Ugh, it definitely has to have a plastic protector. Like this one cannot be out in the open all year like this one is, where it's gonna look really, really trashed really quick because it already looks really rough, like straight out the box. Same deal with being able to see the ridges, but not only that, like have them all be scuffed up. The rest of the cover looks decent, but again, like super smooth, going to show every little thing. Same style planner, horizontal. This one is the full year, so it's got the 369 pages in the back, enough for one every day. I like this kind of dashboard side too. So got that one. For this year, I was using the compact size, so it's like skinnier like this for a workout planner. I wrote down all my workouts and things in one of these. Okay, so there's that one. Here's what the page looked like, which is super cute. Very vintage style, really pretty. Okay, and then I got the Tweed one as well, and the Tweed one is a much better material itself. It came with the same design. This one's the compact version, so this one is the one I used as like a workout planner this year, like a thinner one that only has 120-ish pages in the back. It's the same style horizontal, all the weekly pages for the whole year, just less pages in the back. Now this is the Tweed color. It is a very dark gray and it looks like actual fabric, but it's not. It's just a little bit textured. It's PU leather. It does have a like a woven texture feel to it, which is fun. I think this one is a lot better of a material. This one, I don't know, the material, the outside of this feels way delicate. It's still way thinner. Like this still feels way thicker and stronger. This one's much thinner still feeling, but it definitely looks like it's gonna hide way more imperfections just because it's not one solid color, and it also has that texture to it, so it feels a little bit thicker. And the spine looks a lot less lumpy bumpy and straight, but I can still see a couple of the little spine pieces, even like me looking straight onto it. I can still tell that those little ridges are there, and that's just the nature of the book binding itself, but I never really noticed them that much until these planners. So it definitely is there in the other planners, but you just don't notice it or feel it as much. But these covers are definitely thinner than before. But this one will hide a lot more imperfections because of the color of it. So I will probably end up covering that one up. I do like gray, but I just don't love the look of this one. So I'll probably cover it up. And eventually, like once these ones get scuffed up more than they already are, because this one came pretty scuffed up on the spine, I will end up covering these ones with a cover as well, like a vinyl wrap like I showed in my tutorial. Unfortunately, they're just not gonna hold up very nicely, I feel like. Okay, so I did all that. I got this just as a plain old notebook. It's the caramel, also with gold edge, so it does have the page numbers. It's 272, I wanna say. Yeah, it says 269 on that page. So with the front pages, it's probably 272. I think that's what the package says. 272. It is the thicker material. I can sort of feel some of those like spine binding, but it's not nearly as obvious, like across the whole spine. I can't see any lumpy bumpies, and I definitely don't feel them or see them nearly as much. So the pebbly material, nice and thick, like this way, way, way better. Okay. Last but not least, I have another N1, and this one I got as an afterthought because I saw the Hobonichi Special Edition Godzilla Weeks Planner, and I had to have it, and it's only available in Japan, like legit in Japan. You have to like speak Japanese, use a Japanese website. I used the Google Translate to translate as much as I could, and there was no place to like put your country in. It was just shipping to Japan only, and I thought, you know what? I could get actually a planner that I like better than the Hobonichi Weeks. And so I got a black common planner. It is the onyx color. And again, like this is the material from before. It's pebbly textured, it's nice and thick. And I'm going to put a Godzilla vinyl on this. I'm gonna cut my own Godzilla out and vinyl this up and make a copycat Godzilla planner. It is bigger, like the Weeks size is this N2 size. So it's significantly bigger since it's a TN, but I'm like, that's the planner I really want to use in this capacity. So this will probably be my video gaming planner. Same exact thing, horizontal layout, and it's the onyx cover. And I'm gonna put black vinyl on black PU leather and make a Godzilla DIY planner. And so this was like a total afterthought. Sounds so silly. Now this one did not come with one of the page things. That was the only planner that didn't come with one, so I'm not sure. I don't know what the dealio with that is, so I'm not gonna walk through these planners page by page, but I want to point out one thing. The only main thing that has changed is she darkened the lines just slightly, which all the lines just got a tiny bit darker. Let's find one that's not used. Here you go, there's December. So you can just see like the weekly lines are much darker. The little header lines around everything is much darker. I think she said she darkened the font just the tiniest hair, but I can't really even see that part of it. I just noticed the divisions are a lot darker. And then same on the horizontal page. These divisions are a lot darker. Let's find one that hasn't been written on yet. So you can see it's definitely more noticeable. It's still subtle enough that if you don't like it, you don't want to use those lines, you can totally ignore it, but it definitely helps divide it a little bit better. So I think it was a good improvement, just having the lines just the tiniest bit darker. I don't know that the grid is even darker. It might be like just the hair darker. The thumb tabs are darker. I can tell that for sure. On there, they're a little bit darker. Otherwise, it's the same planner with the exception of one additional page. She added a yearly tracker in the front. So all these quarterly pages, she changed the way that the weekends showed up, darkened it a little bit, but the main huge difference is this 2-page spread was added. And now this one looks to be that the grids are slightly smaller. She adjusted the grids down to make this a full page. So each month has a column and it's all the days. But the grid spacing is so much smaller. There's 8 grids, 4 across by 2 up and down. So there's 8 in each daily box. Weekends again are darkened, but this grid is much teeny tiny compared to the regular grid. But that grid is super, super duper teeny tiny compared to the regular grid. So just keep that in mind. And it's even seemingly teenier, tinier in these ones. Because again, it's like shrunken down from a bigger size planner. And then it's more obviously small in this one. Again, 4 squares by 2 up and down, so 8 total per day. But you can see the grid sizing is way massively different. Just teeny tiny shrunken down grids versus the typical size grids, which I do really like these. At first, like getting a TRP planner straight out the gate after using like huge giant 7x9 planners forever, it was a definite adjustment, but I'm totally used to this size grid. The grids here are teeny tiny, so that's going to be hard for some of us to adjust to, but we'll figure it out. It does fit. It looks really nice on here. I love having the yearly tracker across the 2 pages. That's just something to note, is the grids are teeny tiny on those, but we can make it work. So that is a look at everything. I don't know, again, like, I don't know which size I'm using for which thing. I want to have a wellness planner. I want to have a social media tracker. I want to have a content planner. I want to have one to keep track of like affiliate stuff. Each company that I collab with or I am an affiliate for has their own deadlines, their own timetables, their own launch schedules. I want a dedicated spot to put all of that in. So that's another planner that will be in my lineup as some sort of planner. Not sure exactly which planner is going to be which thing yet, but I definitely have lots of little bitty planner ideas. So I've got these and I've got these 2 to work with. This is just a notebook. It's going to be in my potential lineup as well. I just love the TRP paper, so I wanted to have all the options and then also be able to show you guys some of the new colors. Even though I'm definitely not wowed by any of the new covers at all, I wish they were all the same covers as last year. I loved the quartz cover. I know she had problems with it and it was hard to manufacture and lots of waste, but it was just so nice and thick and luxurious and toothy, and these just are not it for me. They're like the smooth, I'm just not impressed at all whatsoever. The colors are gorgeous, just the materials themselves are just such a downgrade from previous years. So unfortunately, it is what it is. That's what we've got for this year, so we'll have to just make the best of it. But I'm not sure which planners will be in my lineup. Now, I did get one white edge, and that was because I wanted to color these myself. So that's going to be one of my videos coming up, is coloring the edges all by myself. I wanted it to be like a tone-on-tone effect, so I'm going to attempt that. And that will be a fun experiment. So I do have some planners that, you know, I'm not going to be using for much longer. So they can be my guinea pigs for this technique, because I'm not going to test out on the actual one planner I plan on using. I'm going to use, like, you know, when this planner is done and dusted and used up, maybe do the technique on here. And this is one I wrapped, by the way. This was a black Aura Estelle planner. I wrapped this one with some vinyl. Definitely a viable option for cover disappointment, whether it's color disappointment, whether it's material disappointment. I love the colors, the new colors, but unfortunately do not like the material at all. This one already has weird spots on it, scratched up on the back already, with just like day one looking at it, like not even having pens with me, not even having any materials with me, just specks on it. Specks of imperfections already. Not super duper excited about the outsides of these, but like other people have mentioned, it's totally what's on the inside that counts. Don't judge a book by its cover, you know, all the typical sayings. And the insides do look gorgeous, and I do love the TRP paper. This is the Sanzin paper, and it's what I've loved, and most of my planning has gone to TRP planning. My camera got too hot, cut me off right at the very end, but I was just kind of wrapping up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm just always going to tell you guys the good, bad, and the ugly, and while it is important what the cover is, it's not the end-all be-all, and you guys know how much I love the TRP paper. It's just fabulous, and I absolutely love what's on the inside. So I will continue to use the planners and just deal with the outside and cover the outside, because it's probably not going to work the best for me. And there you go. I'm super excited to dig into these for 2025, and I would love to know what colors and what sizes you guys purchased. So let me know in the comments down below, and I'm still just undecided. I know for sure this one's going in my lineup as a Godzilla notebook, and it's probably going to be my gaming planner. But other than that, I have no idea what's going to go in my lineup. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.